March 3rd, 2026 to order. Everybody join me in rising for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sylvia, roll call, please. Council President Young? Here. Councilor Stankey?
Here.
Councilor Mays?
Here.
Councilor Scott?
Here.
Councilor Giles?
Here.
Thank you. And Mayor Rosner and Councilor Browse are absent? Correct. Yeah, thank you. All right. Approval of agenda?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Tonight on the consent agenda, we have 5 items. Approval of February 17th, 2026 City Council meeting minutes. Resolution 2026-012 authorizing the city manager to execute a construction contract for the Southwest Washington Street and Utility Improvements Project. Resolution 2026-013 appointment of council liaison assignments. Resolution 2026-014 adopting city council goals and deliverables for fiscal year 26-27. And resolution 2026-015 amending the city attorney's employment agreement. Do I have a motion?
Move consent.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of the consent agenda, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, council. Sylvia, do we have any citizen comments tonight? All right, David Murray, come on forward.
Me?
Yep, if you're ready for citizen comments.
You said number 6.
Yep, that's where we're at already. We're fast tonight.
Good evening. My name is Dave Murray, and I have something very, very small to talk about, and that is the audio in this room. It is sometimes hard to hear, and I'll be sitting back there, and I don't know that it's necessarily a volume control issue as much as it is maybe the quality of the microphones that you use. A couple examples. When Tim is speaking, I can barely hear Tim talking. When Council Giles speaks, I can hear him just fine. Okay, so it's not necessarily a volume issue as much as a quality of the mic, and possibly speakers in the back as well. Let's see. Yeah, that's all I've got. So just wanted to bring it to your attention, and maybe.
Not alone
Oh, I'm not alone?
in that criticism.
Oh, well, that's good to hear, because I thought maybe I was just the old man that was losing his hearing. So, well, I'm glad to hear that. And I don't mean to complain, by the way. That's not a complaint. That's just bringing it to the council's attention.
Well, that we appreciate because we want people.
Your mic's not on.
What'd you say?
Keith just turned my microphone off. Thank
One
you,
more
Keith.
thing. You may not be aware of it, but the city has a community enhancement program that you might put in an application to spend some money for. Okay,
Thank
I'm
you,
glad you guys
Dave.
like my sense of humor.
Yes.
I think I'm under my 4 minutes, so I'll.
You got
Okay.
2.5 more minutes if you want to keep speaking. Thank you, Dave. We definitely want our public to hear us be able to speak, so maybe we just need to speak like this. Okay. All right. It's a very short, brief meeting tonight. City manager report, and tonight we have our assistant city manager, Kristen.
Hello, just a few things this evening. First, I wanted to mention that the solid waste food scraps survey is now live, so you can find that on the city website. There's a link to it on Facebook, Instagram, and then we're also putting it in the utility bills. Of course, we have paper copies available as well, but it will go through the end of March. So please fill out the survey, encourage your neighbors to fill out the survey. This will help us determine who's using that service.
It's important.
Yeah, it's very good. Another survey that went out is the Sherwood broadband survey, and that was distributed through email on Friday, February 27th to current customers. So if you have not received it, please check your inbox. We haven't done one for 3 years, so this is just a great way for us to assess how things are going and what we can do to improve.
Great.
And as already mentioned, we have the CEP grant application open, and that's through April 15th. The grant program is open to nonprofit groups, organizations, governments, and city advisory committees. So if you are interested, please visit the city website for more information on that as well. And State of the City, I think we mentioned this last time, but we do have a date. It's going to be April 15th as well. So please mark your calendars. And then lastly, just a reminder that as of now, we don't plan on having a city council meeting on Tuesday, March 17th. So no meeting. Any questions?
Why is there no meeting, a potential second meeting in the month?
Well, there wasn't a lot of business, and we are going to have two city councilors and the mayor will be out of town. We could still have a meeting if needed, but there was no business. If anything comes up, we'll surely call a meeting.
That probably doesn't count me, who will also be out of town, so.
Oh,
works out.
there you go. We
Not
will
have
not
a
have a
quorum,
quorum,
and
so therefore we will not have a meeting.
Hopefully nothing pressing shows up, so
We will reschedule another date if
had
needed.
people call in from far around the world if need be.
If something pressing comes up, will you surely join a meeting from hotel rooms?
Awesome. Kristen, I fully support the idea, if come from the community, of replacing the microphone that the mayor, judge, and council president, acting as mayor pro tem, uses because the apparatus is too short.
Okay.
And
I thought we had money in the budget to replace the mics.
At least make them match.
Because I thought,
So
I know I brought this
we
up.
can hear Brad coming in.
I brought this up for like
Brad's
7
coming
years
around the
straight,
corner.
and
I
I
know, we
could have
talked
sworn at
about
the
it.
last budget
Poor Brad.
meeting, we said it was in the budget.
The engineer is hired, so they're with the design right now.
Fantastic.
awesome.
Perfect.
'Cause this one is,
Can the button actually work without like 100 pounds of force?
Scope of work number 1.
yeah,
Pushable buttons.
School
easy to
district
turn on and
ones.
off,
Theirs
too,
are
long
amazing.
enough aperture so that it actually gets to the mayor's head.
3, the lights mean the same thing. So green light, green light.
Right.
We need to have all those.
Thank you, Brad, for
Yes, thanks, Brad.
chiming in. Anything else?
High priorities.
Any other questions?
Any questions for Assistant City Manager or other staff that are present? Feel like we should have a great question for Captain Jentz. He's joined us this evening, but thank you for joining us. All right. With that, we will go on to City Council announcements. Let's start with Keith.
Thank you, Council President, Mayor Pro Tem Young. I've been busy personally, so haven't done as much since our last meeting. But I would want to just comment, wishing thoughts and prayers for all of the servicemen and women that are in conflict zones right now, because I have friends and family in conflict zones. So,
Counselor Scott.
To get my microphone on. Parks Board met last night. Usual topics were discussed, as well as I think at the previous meeting there had been some discussion around, speaking of the CEP grant program, identifying some potential low-hanging fruit from the existing Parks Master Plan that maybe could be put forth as some CEP grant applications in this round. So I think the Parks Board had a nice, robust discussion on some of those opportunities, and I think they've landed on 2 or 3 items that they might turn into grant applications for that program. Again, we were kind of targeting the, $5,000 to $10,000 to $15,000 range type of projects, things that are in the plan but aren't funded and may not be funded for some time. So I think that was a good conversation. I think we'll see more coming out of that. They also are welcoming, I think we discussed this previously, the opportunity to kind of take on ownership of kind of the wayfinding signage, heritage marker kind of concept that we talked about at our annual planning and before citywide, right? So I think the first thing is we need to develop, like, what are we what do we want these things to look like, and then develop a playbook on how we might go about installing, things over time. So I think they're eager to get involved and run with that. I think they're just waiting for some more concrete direction from council on that. So that's it.
Nice. Counselor Stankey.
All right. The Sherwood School District did not meet between the last meeting and this meeting. The Traffic Safety Board canceled their meeting last week, and that was partly due to no new requests. And although the city, does their best effort to address traffic safety concerns, a lot of our remedies are from the Traffic Safety Board for areas that we just don't see. So if you see something that you'd like changed, submit an application or request. Some of the examples are street improvements, speed limit reduction, additional stop signs, speeding concerns. Although we do ask for personal information when you fill out the form, that is redacted and blacked out during the meeting so that information is not disclosed. So please submit requests if you have any. The library board met a couple weeks ago, and the big announcement out of that was that the Sherwood Library Foundation has received enough funds now to fund the pods that will be in the library. And so those will be coming later this year. Well, it's 4 within, it's like 4 that are connected, if you will, like a 4-plex within the library. Yeah. So there'll be 4 separate rooms within this one structure, is my understanding.
And each, well, we'll see. I'll wait for it to get here, and then I'll see for myself.
Yeah, they're hoping for June 1st to be operational. And so they're working on the policy, meeting room policy for the library to address what that will look like once we get those installed. The library is also hosting their 13th annual 6-word story contest. This was kind of started in honor of Ernest Hemingway. He was asked to do a 6-word story, and he wrote, "For sale, baby shoes never worn." And basically, it's an entire story with just 6 words. And so we invite everybody to submit. This is a family-friendly event, though, so please use appropriate content if you are going to submit something.
He's looking at you when he said that.
I think he was looking through me.
Yes, yes. And then, like Kristen said, the yard debris, I personally use that service. It's included as a benefit right now for anybody who has Pride. We're not asking you to pay additional money to use this. It's already included in your service. And I currently use paper bags to put my food in before I put it in my bin so it doesn't mess up my bin. There's lots of other options that you can find online if you're interested in doing it. Happy to answer any questions if you want to reach out to me personally. I really enjoy the service, and yeah.
And it goes in your yard debris.
Goes in the yard debris, yes. It's commingled yard debris. That's correct.
Is there any food scraps you're not allowed to put in there?
There are. I don't have that list, but that's a great question. Pride does have a nice printout that you can, of what's included, what you can include, but you can put bones in there. I mean, it's minimal what's not allowed, that it would be considered just normal organic waste, I guess.
Fill out the surveys.
Yes, and then I just wanted to point out, I saw it in the library today, we have a new Sherwood Sun paper as just something for the Sherwood area. This is volume 1, number 1, March 2026. So they're free in the library here. I don't know where else they're being distributed.
I think they're being mailed to each house as well.
Oh,
Yeah, I have one in my mailbox.
there you go. Okay, so look for that. It's exciting.
Monthly. Once a month.
You'll get yours, I guess. But okay. And I think that's all I got.
And there's an article from the mayor in there.
There is.
An article from our chamber director.
I think they got the name wrong, though.
I think they got the name wrong.
They titled it to Dave Gilmore instead of Dave Murray. But that's okay. That's new newspaper. All right.
That's all I got.
Counselor Giles.
All right, Planning Commission met, and we had the first reading, I believe, right? Of they're looking to change the food cart zoning to include light industrial areas, and so essentially they want to add a little bit of Right now, it's not allowed right on Tualatin Sherwood Road there with some of the zoning. This would add a little bit more and allow for, there's a developer who's wanting to do one right on the corner there of Century Drive, but then there'd be a few other lots, not a ton, but it'll come to us shortly. With that change, it looked pretty positive. In fact, I think the Sherwood Sun did an article on it. I saw an online version of it. Good communication with a lot of people. I do want to say to the people who are commenting, what's that?
Sorry, maybe you were going to address the people that hate it?
No.
Some people that hate that idea?
Okay, well, that's fine. I loved the idea. I like the concept of it. We are, there's people that bring up a lot of issues about, how the cleanliness of it or things like that, and that is not within the purview of zoning. We don't really determine, how much garbage cans there are and things like that. Those are you can visit a place or not. Whether your family believes that it's a good fit for you and your family to go visit, it's not up to the city to make you go eat dinner at a place that you don't want to eat. So I just saw there was a lot of comments that are about stuff that the city does not have any control over. So, but that'll be coming to the city council shortly. Let's see. I think we already talked about the Lantern Festival. Did we already talk about that? How great it was? Okay. All right. Then that is it for me.
Great. For me, last night I attended the Region 1 Area Commission on Transportation meeting. We are working on
ODOT Region 1?
ODOT Region 1.
ODOT Region 1.
Yep. We are working on ODOT CIP, and each regional act is to put forth 5 projects within our region, and then those would be the priorities of our act, and then we can also put forward up to 10 additional. The 5 would be our priority, and the 10 additional would be niceties, I suppose, if there's ever enough money to do more work. But we're not exactly sure, once all the regional acts put up their 5 priorities, how those are going to be sorted out yet. Didn't have that answer from ODOT staff last night. But anyways, it's definitely a good collaborative conversation amongst the region. Is big here. We go all the way out to Hood River, Washington County, Clackamas County. Yeah, I mean, it's a big region.
But it's a great level of having that conversation and trying to get on a list. If you never on a list, then there's no chance of her.
Correct.
First,
Correct. So
get on a list.
yeah. So
Get some attention.
yeah.
Awesome.
And then Saturday, I attended a chamber winemakers meeting where we got some local winery vineyard owners in a room to kind of brainstorm on how we can bring more attention to the winemakers, wineries, tasting rooms in our own Sherwood community, and how each of those wineries, vineyards can partner with each other and things like that. We came up with a lot of good ideas, and there will be another meeting coming up that Dave and his winemakers will, and I'll probably attend as well, to sort of keep fine-tuning on how that can work and how the chamber can work with them on memberships and what that would look like, what benefits that would have. So that was that was fun. That was a good day. On last Friday, I attended the public chaplaincy donor dinner. Anybody doesn't know, in Sherwood, we have 2 chaplains that service our police department. One totally volunteer chaplain, and then one who receives donations through the public chaplaincy program. So we got Wilson Parish, and then we have Joel White. Thank you. I sat next to him at dinner Friday night. Anyways, it was great to hear stories of the chaplains and how they work with their, not just police departments, but first responders, fire departments, 911 dispatch, and then also work with communities. There was also some community members that came up and shared their stories on how the chaplains in their local area worked with them under difficult circumstances. So it was good to hear that story. And then lastly, I also attended the Sip and Sing for the Sherwood Education Foundation a week and a half ago. It used to be the Sip and Spell, and they changed it up for their 10-year anniversary. It was a really great time where they had masked singers, so to speak, but really what they were dressed in is the mascots of each of the school. And Superintendent Downs, he was quite funny, but they raised a lot of money. It never ceases to amaze me the amount of support that the different organizations in our town have, whether it be Sherwood Education Foundation, the Police Foundation, the Shelf, the Library Foundation, the Friends of the Arts Center, just the number of arts organizations and the community that comes out to support them in so many ways. So thank you to the great community that we live in. Does anybody else have anything else for the good of the order? It's only 7:25. Surely nobody wants to go home this early.
Bring on the winter. We need
I
some
would-
more rain.
I would say I'm shocked that Dave had no problem hearing me, because that's always been a complaint. People have trouble hearing me. Just kidding.
Well, you do well. All right, with that, I will call this meeting adjourned.